This is Datila, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Friday, September 6, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Friday Night SmackDown. All right, so tonight's SmackDown was the final SmackDown on Fox. You know, it's crazy how quickly 5 years went by. The first SmackDown debuted in, I believe, October of 2019 on Fox, I should say. But dang, 5 years went by so fast. It really did, and we're going to get into tonight's show. Let's talk about this opening Cody Rhodes segment. Well, I didn't really like this Cody Rhodes segment. I felt like Cody Rhodes said a whole bunch of nothing, honestly. The Bloodline interrupted, and basically it seemed like Cody Rhodes was trying to turn Jacob Fatu on Solo, and even Solo Sikoa brought that up. But we find out next week it's going to be Cody versus Solo for the title in a steel cage match. Honestly, I'm just over this feud. Like, we need to move on from Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline. Like, they need to fast forward to the Bloodline 2.0 versus the original Bloodline, because we just got to move on from this feud. We really do. But I was just not a huge fan of this. I'm sure that steel match is going to be good, but after next week, this feud has to end permanently. You know, so. And not only that, but this opening segment sets up the main event. It's going to be the Bloodline versus DIY and the Street Profits. So, what did you guys think of this match? Of this opening segment. Did you guys like it? I just thought it was your typical Cody Rhodes promo and your typical Solo Sikoa promo. There wasn't much to it except for the match announcement, honestly. We get a Tiffany Stratton segment, and really, you like the opening segment? That's a first. So Tiffany Stratton is like backstage. I really like the fact that Pretty Deadly, they paired up with Pretty Deadly. I think it's a good pairing. But I like that Nia Jax confronts Tiffany and was kind of like, questioning her about cashing in. I do think that ultimately Tiffany Stratton is going to cash in on Nia Jax, but they're doing this whole princess and queen thing. She accuses Chelsea Green of spreading lies about her, and she asks Nia Jax to, if she's going to help her like she did last week. So, I'm feeling like Nia Jax is kind of catching on to what Tiffany's doing. Maybe not entirely, but I think she's got her. She's watching her. So this leads into Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton. What time is it? It's not clobbering time. It's not morphin time. And it's not adventure time. It's Tiffy time. And I believe this was the first time ever singles match between them. I thought this was a good match. I did think it was interesting that Nia Jax came out midway, kind of like Tiffy did last week, and she distracted the ref while Tiffany was pinning Bayley, and this leads Bayley to a victory. So I wonder if definitely Tiffany's going to confront Nia Jax next week, because technically she had that match won, but if it wasn't for Nia Jax distracting the ref, she would have won. So again, they're biding their time here. And let's not forget, Bayley destroyed Tiffany's briefcase, and Nia Jax gave her a new one. I think it was an enjoyable, decent match, but I think Tiffany will be cashing in at Mania next. You really think she's gonna wait that long? We get Kevin Owens and A-Town Down Under, and basically the whole point of this is Kevin Owens challenges them to a triple threat match. And I feel like we're slowly going to see the breakup of A-Town Down Under. They've been teasing it, and I think this triple threat match will just add to it. So I'll talk about that triple threat match when we get there. We get Legado del Fantasma, and they're talking about their victory against Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. But Santos Escobar says that SmackDown is bound to be their turf for him and his familia. So I just feel like with Legado de Fantasma, they haven't really done anything with them. They've been kind of just there. I mean, their most notable feud was against the LWO and stuff, but like, how is anybody supposed to take them seriously? You know, you gotta give them a good feud. I kind of feel like sometimes the only faction that they cares about is the Bloodline and not any other faction. You know, but Legado del Fantasma definitely does have the potential to be a great faction if they're given the time and a good storyline. Booking that goes a long way, honestly. They even had a whole feud with Hit Row before Hit Row was released. So, you know, I really hope Legado del Fantasma does more. They're all very talented, but they got to start doing more with them. You know, and I feel like with the tag titles on the Bloodline, not much is going to be done for the tag team division yet. Next, we get Giovanni, Vinci versus Apollo Crews. So over the last couple weeks, they've been teasing Giovanni, Vinci. And I did notice that before this match even started, like he didn't take off his jacket all the way. The bell rang and Apollo Crews beat him. So I'm not entirely sure this is like a storyline enhancement match, or if this was just like done on purpose. Because like I feel bad for Da Vinci here. Like he just, this is his SmackDown re-debut and he already lost in humiliating fashion. I'm really hoping this is like kayfabe storyline, but you know, I'm not sure. I get why they separated him from Kaiser and Gunter, but like the story was right there. Like Kaiser turned on Vinci. You could have had Vinci like attack Kaiser or something, but I guess they didn't want to do that. I just hope he doesn't get lost in the shuffle, but things are not starting off good for him here. But really hope this is a storyline. Kind of reminds me of when Chelsea Green entered the Royal Rumble. She got eliminated in like 3 seconds. But you know, we'll see where this goes. But if it doesn't go anywhere, then it sucks for Vinci. But if it does, hey, the more power to him. Speaking of Chelsea Green, she was complaining to Nick Aldis about what Julia did to her on NXT. I don't watch NXT, but I think I heard Julia, they got nothing planned for Vinci. If he doesn't bounce back from that loss, I would agree with you. But basically, this leads to Michin versus Chelsea Green later on in the night. We get a triple threat match. It's Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller. I thought this was a good match. I did notice that Grayson Waller stopped Austin Theory from winning here. So I do feel like the split between A-Town Down Under is coming, with Theory probably being the face and Waller probably being the heel. Time to start watching NXT. It's getting better. Yeah, good luck with getting me to watch NXT. My favorite spot in this match was when KO put Waller through the table and Kevin Owens was victorious. And so at the end, A-Town Down Under attacks KO. So there is a segment where they approach Nick Aldis about a tag match with them versus KO and a partner of his choosing, which is set for next week. I do think it's probably going to be Randy Orton. You know, because they have been teaming. They were called, RKO? So I definitely did think. Need more TNA talent on NXT, so I will start watching. It's going to take more than TNA talent to get me to watch NXT Weekly. We get an LA Knight, promo, and he's talking about how he's already had two successful title defenses, and like he gets interrupted by Mello and Andrade. And one of the things I like about this is that they tie in their feud to this. So they talk about how they've beaten each other, and like I think the fact that Andrade tells LA Knight, in Spanish, that the only thing he's good at is running his mouth, and he's going to be the next United States champion. Are we going to be potentially see a triple threat match here? I know we're going to see another Mello versus Andrade match. And maybe whoever wins will get on to face LA Knight. Yeah, personally, I would like to see a triple threat, but that's just me. What do you guys think? Who should face LA Knight? Yeah, Andrade or Mello? And Andrade did make a point that he did say that U.S. title belonged to him. You know, he is a former United States champion. So Andrade versus LA Knight, yeah, will be a great match. And so would Melo versus LA Knight, yeah. But Andrade should face Knight. I agree. I think that would be a really great match. So you Chelsea Green versus Michin. One of the things I liked about this, like Michael Cole on commentary noted that both Chelsea Green and Michin are former Knockouts champions. So I like the fact that they mentioned that. But Chelsea Green is victorious, because Piper Niven's did a senton to poor Michin on the outside while she distracted the ref. And she hit the unpretty her to Michin. So Chelsea Green is victorious in her home country of Canada. So we had a DIY and Street Profits interview, and basically they're just talking about how they're going to come together to take on the Bloodline and stuff like that. So which they need to, because that's the main event. It's an 8-man tag match, the Bloodline versus Street Profits and DIY. So I thought this was a pretty decent match. But, great showing by Jacob Fatu. Like, I'm still waiting. Like, instead of having Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes, why not have Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes? I think that would make a much better matchup. Jacob Fatu hitting that impaler on Montez Ford, and then Solo hitting the Samoan spike twice to Montez Ford, and the Bloodline picked up the win. And that is how the final SmackDown on Fox closes out, with the Bloodline standing tall here. So overall, I thought this was a pretty decent SmackDown. Wasn't a huge fan of the Vinci stuff. I did feel bad for him. So overall, really, 5 out of 10. And I also kind of didn't like the opening segment. Like I said, I feel like Cody Rhodes said a whole lot of nothing, and Solo, we just got to move on from Cody versus Solo. So on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, this is probably, I'd give this a 6. That was pretty decent. Like I said, this is the final SmackDown on Fox. I'm hoping the next week's SmackDown, being the SmackDown premiere on the USA Network, that they give us a banger of a show, but we just have to wait and see. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? Let me know in the comments or in the live chat down below. With that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for AEW All Out. Bye.